Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, it is time for another cast already today. Yes, indeed, I also would like to apologise. My apologies right there. For the delay in the first cast, which I rather had to delay to today due to some problems when I tried to process it. And rather than trying to spend the rest of what little I had of that day, I rather decided to call it a day and then sort of get it up today. And of course, ensure you a second cast as well. So you won't be cheated in that sense. And of course, back from the holidays. And hopefully I should have been able to respond to all of those who sent me replays in the holiday period. I did not respond. I rather sort of wanted to focus on, having a holiday. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I hope you're pumped up because we're having a 2 versus 2 on Rails and Metals. Yes, indeed, Rails and Metals, who shall be fighting, well, SturmTigerWest and SturmTigerOst. Yes, indeed, the two SturmTigers. Could there possibly be a Nord on a suit? Who knows? But they are here fighting for the Wehrmacht fighting force. Oh, I don't know. Let's just imagine it's the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division. Götz von Berlichingen, and opposing them shall be HelpingHans. Yes, indeed, HelpingHans lending a helping hand. And the TehKidderist. The kidder as always, leading for the British. And of course the usual unlikely American-British combo, fighting, I don't know, let's just say it's a... Oh, what's the devil? 42nd Infantry Brigade supporting the 1st Infantry Division in a fight against the 17th SS. Let's get right down to it. The Eye of the SturmTiger. Going up with the Wehrmacht quarters, probably the same from Mr. Ost. Yes, indeed, Ost meaning east in German. It also meant that in Danish at some point, but then we decided to sort of call it Öst. But you could also say Ost back then. And we are seeing a back going up for HelpingHans, so we are going to see an infantry focus from him. And probably from the same from TehKidderist, who's, I suspect, going right for this munitions point, of course, where the infantry section heads off first. The reconnaissance, that is, rather indicates where they're popping off. And we are seeing a Brenn right off the bat. That is not entirely unusual to see in a 2 versus 2 game. To sort of use the Brenn for disruption, which it can do quite well in the 2 versus 2. But right here for the munitions, and of course it also has a nice position right here next to one of the central victory points. And of course some of the other points, and I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised if we'll also be seeing a mortar emplacement some stage, because again that will have a nice dominating presence of the center. Partly in sort of area denial and just also making things very nasty for the Wehrmacht forces in advance. We are seeing West going for the east, and East, or Ost, going for the west. Clever. And we are seeing a buying out for SturmTigerOst, playing straight into the Brenn carrier. The might of the BMW bike, not quite ready to face off against the Brenn carrier. Might have to pull out of that one. Pioneers could support. No, the Brenn carrier does pull away. I mean, a bike is one of the better earlier counters towards the Brenn carrier, of course, except if the Brenn carrier catches you from the front and is supported, in which case it's time to get that bike out of there. We are in fact seeing 3 Pioneer teams up from SturmTigerOst. One team looks like it might be supporting the bike, although the bike is going right into a hornet's nest, and yes, indeed, within minutes, TehKidderist already has a mortar emplacement up. Coming for the Brenn and perhaps some other troops to sort of keep the Germans, the Krats, the Hans at bay, while some forces of West here in the east are securing the east with Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers. And looks like things might be pulling back here. Combined American-British offensive pulling forwards, forcing away the bike and the Pioneers, leaving the west rather open for the American and Allied forces, I suppose. And looks like the bike has already been repaired, and we are seeing Americans charging right at it. Pioneers running away, bike finding a way, doing a bit of damage to those dastardly Americans. But that seems to be about it. In the east, forces of West, they should keep on being fun-wounded, are harassing, taking some points, but immediately coming under mortar fire from that mortar emplacement. Pioneers will have to pull away, as Raven are also moving in to punish them. And the bike having a bit of problem with this reconnaissance section. MG42 sending up to support. This could end up very nastily for the reconnaissance section, which is caught out in the middle of the road. Negative, of course, means you will take more damage, you will be easier to hit. The only thing negative cover provides protection against is flames, and, well, your imagination, I suppose. Anyways, rather than pushing forwards, coming under fire from another MG42, which is trying its best to sort of cover this area, but again, due to the mortar emplacement, it can't be too up and far ahead, otherwise it's just going to get mortared. It's already there. This mortar emplacement early on already has a very, very nasty presence, and, well, trouble is, at least for Mr. Ost, he's rather lacking in an assault force that can really attack from the west and knock out that mortar emplacement, which is rather leaving west in a bit of a problem here in the east, having to sort of keep everything at bay while also sort of trying to stay out of range at that mortar. So that's already a bit of a dicey position right from there. More units on the way from west. Ost getting more MGs. Volksgunners facing off against riflemen here. Not the best position, but some other Volksgunners are doing alright, at least killing one rifleman, but they've themselves lost one, and now the riflemen are taking up position here. They're not the best position. Volksgunners heading up behind the heavy cover, perhaps. Yes, indeed. Oh dear, another goes down. This is not looking good for the Volksgunners. Pioneers forced away. Could it be that West is preparing an assault on the mortar emplacement? No, apparently not. There's another infantry section now with Bren guns, which is going to make this even nastier. And Lieutenant has also arrived. Another MG, another bike on the way. Apparently the first one was lost. Not looking good for the forces of the 17th so far. Riflemen and Volksgunners facing off against each other. One Volksgunner bites the dust, while the riflemen continue to duel with the Volksgunners. Further Volksgunners arriving for west to support up here. MG42 stopping some Brits as they try to advance forwards. This mortar emplacement is still quite the threat. Another bike. No skirmish phase. Although could be that SturmTigerWest is getting it. Looks like it. In fact, let's go look at him. Well, we'll certainly find out soon if he begins setting up a creek backs. British troops moving in against the MG42. MG42 turning them out. Hoping to catch the reconnaissance section right there. Oh dear, get sniped. And they immediately set about flanking the MG42. This could end up ugly. And the MG42 is in fact setting up to retreat. Yes, there we go. Volksgunners is also pulling back. This is not looking good in the east for west. And meanwhile, in the west, Ost or east is slowly pushing forward to TehKidderist, and our American friend HelpingHans really pushing onwards, really keeping up the pressure on as many points as possible, setting up an observation post and a machine gun emplacement there. Although so far they really don't need to worry much about the west, since Ost is again rather lacking in the units that can actually push forward. He has too many pioneer spikes and MGs, not enough Volksgunners. Panzerfaust on the Brenkow. Could this be the end? Bike firing away. This could in fact be the end for the Brenkow. There we go, out of control. Troops taking up position there. Bren gunners knocking out the bike in the same time. MG firing away at the Brits, forcing them away. Whew. And further action here in the west. Again, Volksgunner. No, yes, coming under fire from engineers. Pioneers laying down a mine. Volksgunners not dealing with the flamethrower engineers. Slow advances right here in the east on the other hand. Ost providing MG support for the Volksgunners of west. And Creek Barracks is up. Half track is on the way. Engineers forced away. And infantry section fighting off against the Volksgunners. Doing so nicely. Half track ready. Getting crewed up. Volksgunners going for the strategic point, but at the same time placing them within the range of the mortar emplacement. Casualty cleaning station going up for TehKidderist. So far no medic bunkers for SturmTigerWest or Ost. Interesting thing to note about the SturmTiger, it wasn't actually a very practical vehicle. It was sort of what you'd call an assault tank or assault panzer. Basically a very thickly armored vehicle with a very big gun meant to blow up sort of obstructions, bunkers, any sort of problems in an urban scenario. And the SturmTiger was basically the biggest of those, equipped with a 310mm rocket or something like that. It took several hours to reload, which rather meant it wasn't very practical in any sort of actual combat situation. Yes, anything that was hit would be obliterated, but after that it would take half the day almost to get it reloaded. It's not really the most practical of weapons. Volksgunners and half-track fighting off against the infantry section. Brutal fighting forcing away the Brits. Some riflemen still hang about, pushing towards it, towards the munitions. Riflemen moving in from the north. We are seeing a trio center, we are seeing a weapon support center, we are seeing a field support truck. What else are we seeing? I have no idea. And looks like Ost is preparing now with Volksgunners again. Oh, they are taking heavy losses. One team already forced away due to rifle grenades. Mind you, rifle grenades are very, very dangerous. If they actually hit, that is rather a problem. And again, when they do hit, you're in a world of hurt. No doctrine as yet for West, and we are seeing a Kampfkraft sent up for Ost. And now Stormtroopers getting called in, so we are seeing a Blitzkrieg doctrine choice for SturmTigerOst. Homing for the Stormtroopers or Sturmtruppen of the 17th to pull through. Volksgun is hanging him out here. British medics pulling in, but no medics for the German wounded. That could really help West. He is suffering some with his Volksgun is near the half track. So again, medic bunker would have been a nice choice. Pack 38 advancing. Pioneers moving about, not quite as much advancing. Volksgun is veterancy 1, Stormtroopers veterancy nothing so far. Oh wait, they're 1 as well, silly me. Riflemen advancing right into the Volksgunners and the half track. Taking up a bit of cover behind some shrubbery. Charging at the Volksgunners, coming under fire. What are we seeing right here happening? A large assault bridge moving in with a Bren gun to the flank. This is bad, but the riflemen themselves are getting suppressed, but now running right into the building. Getting a bit of protection. Further Volksgunners, still no medic bunker. Pack 38, not really in a position to help, nor is the MG42. Stormtroopers advancing. What could they have in mind? Opening up on the rifle grenadiers. Bundle grenade. Right at the rifle grenadiers. And oh dear, almost down to 1 man. Well, in fact, it actually went down to 1 man. And the riflemen are pulling out of there. Bren gunners as well. Stormtroopers with a Panzerschreck going after the mortar emplacement. Oh dear, this is rather bold move already, though it could easily end up badly getting counterattacked. But hoping to knock out that mortar emplacement, though I think it might have been the better choice to wait until you had several Panzerschrecks rather than just one. And I might also recommend a larger force artillery going in here against the positions of West, blasting his troops to paste. Stormtroopers really pushing forwards, getting incredibly bold, heading, oh dear, they're forced to retreat. Let us go and look at TehKidderist, doing alright. Has a howitzer up, in fact, blasting away at the German position somewhere. Volksgunners going up in dust and blood. And some other bits, I'm not entirely sure what they were, possibly Fritz. Volksgunners holding up behind the line here with support from the half track. Not the best of position within the aegis of the mortar. In which case they probably ought to be a bit more advancing rather than just standing about right in front of it. Half-track moves forward, though we have to be careful of the Piats. Piats are very nasty. Towards a half-track. And no artillery support. We are seeing a Kampfkraft center. At this stage, I mean, when you have a strong point like that, I mean, my suggestion might be, wait with the veterancy. Get as swiftly as possible. Get the Sturm Armory. Get some Nebelwerfers. Begin bombarding this. I mean, this would be a really nice spot to bombard. Grenadiers with a Panzerweg out for SturmTigerWest. Still in a nasty position, in fact, out in the middle of the road. Riflemen from HelpingHans flanking the positions of the Germans. Looking good, looking good. Half anti-tank was actually squished. Grenadiers taking some losses right out in the middle of the road. Need to retreat. Managed to kill 1 Brit with a Panzerschreck rocket. For the glory of the fatherland. Sook. And the Brits fighting on for the regiment. For the brigade.
Ready for your orders.
Meanwhile, the Americans are pushing forward, HelpingHans really keeping the pressure up there while TehKidderist is taking up the center. Storms with advancing once more with the Panzerschreck. Veterancy 2 now, has to be careful, they are more flammable now. Mines laid down there by HelpingHans. Good move there. In fact, Stormtroopers pushed away despite Volksgunner support. Not the most well-coordinated assault. In fact, rather looks like SturmTigerOst is rather heavily lacking in units. Barely got anything left. Most has been blasted to bits or is situated elsewhere. Riflemen coming out of fire as Volksgunners once more with the half-track in support for advance. Clearly not the most veteran bits of the 17th SS. Not sure where they got the half-track from. And recon section advancing against the MG42 coming under heavy fire from the machine gewehr. Pack 38 moving forward, still no Sturm Armory. We can't help but feel that is a bit of a shame. And looks like Bren gunners with a Panzerschreck. Who dropped that? Who dropped that? I have no idea, but apparently they managed to sneak themselves a Panzerschreck. I suppose the guess might be those grenadiers. No. No idea who it were. Could be someone had double Panzerschrecks equipped. And now artillery moving in against the MG42 position. This is looking very bad. MG42 gunners blown to bits. And Pioneers hiding inside the wrecks of this building. Not looking too well, quite frankly. This could collapse any moment now. And SturmTigerWest is placing himself in a very nice position for artillery. MG, half-track, anti-tank gun, infantry, everything else just sort of clumped around one single point. And he hasn't even finished the bunker. Oh, West, get a grip of yourself. And a large counterattack by HelpingHans, who has so far not gotten anything else away. There you go. Motor pool up. No vehicles, though. Grenade, and a bunt grenade goes off against, causing huge losses to the Brits right here. Breaking through, and the mortar in place. Oh, the howitzer has gone down, but the mortar emplacement is still standing still. Good move there by SturmTigerOst, though he is still lacking in support. Wait, Stu 42 providing some heavy artillery support, or well, close artillery support, I would suppose you'd call it. Oh dear, the Brits are getting blasted, and oh dear, the British and Americans are in fact lacking heavily in anti-tank assets. There only are the Piats, and they're currently as far away as can possibly be. Mortar emplacement down, infantry section reformed though. And the howitzer opens up. Bren gunners could help with the Piats. But this was a very bold move by SturmTigerOst, which certainly did quite a bit, though they are lacking victory points. This could turn things around for them if SturmTigerWest could use this chaos in the east, or the west, to aid him in the east. Stu 42 slowly pulling away from these nasty rifles. In fact, it's time for the mid-game analysis. What is the situation? Well, currently SturmTigerOst was able to pull off a rather brilliant maneuver, or at least clever, good, knocking out the howitzer, knocking out the mortar emplacement, causing quite some losses to the British, but not quite enough. The British were caught with their knickers down, pantaloons. No anti-tank assets besides the Piats. Bit of a problem there. You have to be very careful about that. And SturmTigerOst certainly went for it, but he's certainly having some of his own problems, rather lacking in a lot of other things. A bit too much support and not enough fighting power, which is rather the thing you need against an American-British combo, at least in my opinion. SturmTigerWest doing a bit better, but he's certainly also solving some of his own troubles against the American forces, and he needs to push through here. Certainly would have been better if he was able to support SturmTigerOst right there in the center, and either of them should have gotten a medic bunker up a lot sooner. So there you go. On the other hand, the Allies are doing well. They certainly had quite the effect right there in the center. Certainly been able to really grind down the 17th SS in their efforts to attack this point. Of course, attack anywhere else, and mostly able to keep his troops alive. This is certainly doing alright. And very clever move there. He's in fact using the captain as a retreat point, meaning of course he can just retreat his troops back to the captain, over to the triage center, and of course the Brits get free healing. Good combination there of troops and buildings, and using both sides' assets to help both sides. Clever. But they are, as I said, lacking in anti-tank assets, lacking in mobile elements, getting up a howitzer. So we are seeing infantry, seeing rather artillery heavy sort of strategy from the both of them. I'm not entirely sure what TehKidderist. Oh wait, he actually has gone for Royal Canadian Artillery. And what has HelpingHans gone for besides the artillery? Well, nothing else. No Rangers so far. And again, no anti-tank assets. I mean, if SturmTigerWest and Ost really catches on here, they could do a lot of damage. So we'll have to see. Let's return to the fight. Stu 42 fires away at the rifleman. One down. Grenades getting researched. Anti-tank and barely makes it away. False guys, Pioneers on the line there. And a large American assault going in, or a counter-attack forcing away the Germans. Half-track nowhere to be seen. British efforts in the center, a bit spread out. HelpingHans' structures right here in the west are getting knocked out. MD-42 false Grenadiers, Stormtroopers. No, Stormtroopers not there. They're apparently still hanging about here. Ready to push onwards for the fatherland, for the glory of the Third Reich. And the Brits moving in here against the SturmTigerWest positions, which are now under artillery fire from HelpingHans. This is looking very bad for West, who's now under the brunt of the pressure. A lot of pressure, in fact. On and off map artillery against the half-track, really hoping to knock that out, in fact forcing away a lot of things. This is looking pretty grim. Well, we are finally seeing a bunker up. Oh dear, heavy losses for the Grenadiers. Down to one man. He needs to get out of there. Rückzug, please. You're not meant to survive that. amount of firepower. Stu 42 keeps harassing in the west. Blitz getting ready, and what is the Stu 42 up to? Running straight into an anti-tank gun. Open up, stop, fire at the anti-tank gun before it sets up. Oh no, SturmTiger, you're... Oh, he's going for the howitzer, but at the same time he's setting himself up in a very, very bad position. He could get knocked out. And the howitzer's gone, but will he finish it off? Yes, indeed. And now the anti-tank gun is turning about. He needs to be swift about it. SturmTigerWest flank has collapsed, and the anti-tank gun still not out. SturmTigerOst is in fact in a lot of trouble. It's getting... Oh dear, it's getting buttoned up. And getting peppered with everything else. This was an alright attempt, but it's certainly not the sort of thing I would have attempted, and it certainly didn't work out in this case. And looks like SturmTigerWest has also gone blitzkrieg. They've rather pooled together their resources in one thing, lacking the sort of flexibility which could have been good. And this could end up, in fact, biting them in the ass, but now we are seeing dual Stu 42 action. Another button grenade, doing a bit of damage again. Tria center is down. Anti-tank, oh, howitzer recruit and getting repaired. Firing away. Stormtroopers away. MD-42 coming this fuel point, which is still not connected. Wait, there we go. Volkswagen is getting blasted, bombed, grenaded, shot. Possibly even burned very soon. Stormtroopers still supporting. Only one Panzer in this case. Hitting a mine by HelpingHans. Not looking good for the 17th SS. They have not been fighting well, despite stormtroopers and assault howitzers. More grenades from HelpingHans. He really loves those grenades. Oh dear, these Volkswageners might be taking some losses. There we go. Heavily wounded. Veteran C2. Still not a single Sturmarmory, not a single Nebelwerfer, which I really think could have helped them. Stu 42 blasts away at the Allied forces right here in the center. Really pushes onwards. The Stu 42s, despite those anti-tank guns, have actually been able to do quite a bit of a number onto the Allied plants, who are still lacking in armor. But wait, Fireflies have been prepared, and now we are really going to suspect see SturmTigerOst and SturmTigerWest in even larger problems, since they have nothing to deal with the Firefly. Only one Pack 38, and that's nowhere near to help. And it's certainly nowhere near in the west. Stu 42 misses spectacularly at this huge blob of British infantry. And that went slightly better, but now the Firefly has it in his sights. Oh dear, hit in the side. Stu 42 needs to pull away. Oh dear, Stormtroopers moving in. And butting down the Stu 42 Stormtroopers moving in for the hunt on the Firefly. Further Stormtroopers moving in. And the Stu 42 is lost as well. That is two Stu 42s. Cromwell command tank getting blasted by Panzerschrecks.
Territory sector being captured.
Oh dear, this could actually end up very, very nastily. Yes, a bundle grenade right at all of this. Oh wait, that flew too high. I suspect he might have sort of hoped they got a bit closer. Bad luck there. Oh dear. Another button grenade. Another wasted shot. And a Stormtrooper team down. SturmTigerWest though pushing onwards. Phew. Quite a bit of action right here. Grenadiers holding on. Probably reformed from that medic bunker. Still no armor. Wait. We are seeing another Stu 42. Something's telling me he might not have learned his lesson. And the MD-42 is left behind enemy lines, desperately trying to keep the enemy at bay as it's getting attacked from all sides. Wait, there we go, retreating. Grenadiers pushing onwards here, still lacking in the bits that could help against tanks or push an attack. Really would have liked to see a Sturmarmory or perhaps a Panzer Command. And now what's really going in against the Grenadiers and the Volkswageners of SturmTigerWest. Riflemen charging in as well. More Grenadiers moving in to stem the Allied tides. Others are forced away. Stu 42 blasts away. killing only one man with its huge shield. That was less than spectacular. And we are seeing an MG42 in the medic bunker. Oh dear, that was a good shot right there. The other Stu 42 moving in to support the efforts of West. And the Firefly moves in for the hunt for the Kraut Panzers. There we go. The Hun has nowhere to hide for the Firefly. Missing though at Pack 38 opening up, at the same time exposing itself to any artillery that could be there. And Stu 42 goes down. It is down, I repeat. Kraut Panzer is kaput. And looks like some small skirmishing right here in the east, or the west I mean, between Ost and HelpingHans. Looks like both a forced retreat. Lots of infantry getting reinforced, another Pack 38 on the way. Firefly hammering away with its mighty shells. In fact, let's go return to Ost. Let's call in further stormtroopers. Could be waiting for the Tiger. Barely any units left. Another Stu 42 bites the dust.
We're losing territory.
Medics pulling in the wounded. Grenadiers forced away. MG42 has to cover the flank. Stormtroopers, in fact, being pulled out by SturmTigerWest's medics. Rather than trying to clear out the Pack 38, Grenadiers counter-attacking in a glorious maneuver. Or perhaps foolhardy. Entirely the best path, but apparently they do not care. Their SS, damn it! And oh dear, all of these forces are caught, and a grenade right in the midst of all of this. We are seeing a heroic charge. Oh, right into the MG42. That could end up badly. It could also end up well. And a total collapse right here in the east as well as the west. Still no any decent armored assets. False guys and Grenadiers holding the line. MG firing away from the medic bunker. Anti-tank gun opening up, and Rifle moving in from the east as well. Pioneers moving out to stop them, but I don't think they'll be enough. Grenadiers forced away. False gunners holding the line around outside the bunker. Artillery now getting called in. Oh dear, this is pretty bad. And in the west, false gunners push through, but coming under fire. Cromwells are ready to stop them. Stormtroopers moving in, hoping to catch that damn Firefly and set it on fire. Apparently no such luck. And now running straight into the gauntlet, into the Hornet's nest, full of Bren guns, Piats and other nasty bits, causing huge losses to the Stormtroopers. Oh dear. And one Stormtrooper team down, and I fear the other one might be going down as well. Will he? No. Will he make it out of there alive? Apparently so. That was quite incredible. And the Cromwell of TehKidderist was straight into Panzerject fire and a Pack 38. Tiger called in. SturmTigerOst pins his last hopes on the Tiger. Yes, indeed. I'm not entirely sure though if it will be enough. Observation post under heavy fire. Pretty much the entire line of the 17th SS has collapsed. Grenadiers and false gunners counter-attacking, charging forwards. One large formation, Panzerjects flying. People are dying. At the same time, awfully exposed. Artillery getting called in. And a Cromwell moving in from the rear. This is not looking good. And the Cromwell, in fact, goes out of control. It is down, but the Grenadiers are taking heavy losses to the other Cromwell who moves forward. And an attempt in the center is stopped by HelpingHans and his riflemen with BARs and veterans free. Now return to West. Who on the other hand has not gotten himself a Tiger yet, but he could get it in fact.
Heavy assault forces ready.
And looks like, yes, indeed, another tiger has been called in. 2 tigers to turn the tide. Will it be enough? All depends, I suppose. Tanks have been made ready, it seems like, for helping Hans if he so chooses. But apparently has not chosen to do so. Looks like they're trying to push both of the tigers towards the same point, create a very hard to stop force, certainly. But there's barely anything to support, barely any infantry. In fact, looks like SturmTigerOst has lost everything except that tiger and the stormtrooper team right there, and that's because they haven't been on the field before everything else was lost. That's what you call bad. So 2 tigers, one with infantry 1, the other not. They're lacking in support. And the other one moves ahead. That's not good. However, shall this go? I'm pretty sure the 17th SS has lost. They could pull up now, save the tigers for another day. And Britons immediately turn to something, I'm not entirely sure what, as it gets hit by the 88mm high explosive shell. Grenadiers pushing through in the east, not going for the victory point. Tiger button down, getting hit by Panzer Fire and the Firefly. Note the very long range of the Firefly. That is a very nice ability of it. Just needs something to spot for it and can in fact fire away at other units from quite a safe distance. Tiger damaged engine, barely alive and out of control. Tiger down, I repeat, Tiger down. Other Fireflies keep firing away. The other Tiger pushing onwards. Ready to avenge his lost comrade, perhaps? No, artillery getting called in. And the 17th SS loses its 2nd Tiger. Grenadiers and Force Gunners push forward, taking heavy losses in the process, or at least causing some. And they're getting absolutely murdered. This is what you call pretty bad. And there we go. Ost has pulled out. Now we only need West. And there we go. A loss for the 17th SS in the face of the combined American-British force. So, what can we learn from this? What can we learn from such a debacle like this? Of course, well, unit preservation. In this case, I mean, SturmTigerOst lost quite a bit during the fight. I mean, really, and he rather was lacking in the one thing that perhaps could have seen them through. That was aggressive forces. He had too much support from the beginning and really lacked the thing to really take the fight to either of them, and they really should have focused on either British or the American. I think in this case the British commander with them a good choice, since he rather plunked a lot of down in, for example, the mortar emplacement right from the beginning. But sadly that did not happen. In fact, they gained a veterancy 3 lieutenant. Very sneaky, that, very nasty. Other flaws was of course the latent medic bunker, which probably could have been placed here a bit better. And certainly a bit of lacking in coordinating their efforts, which probably could have shattered the Brits in the center by the time when he pushed through there with Su-42 and the Panzerschrecks, but it just didn't happen. So a bit unfortunate there. A lack of coordination, lack of aggressiveness, that's rather what I'd boil down this to. Good coordination between the Allies on the other hand, very good. The thing to note, good usage of each other differences, army differences, you know, captains, trias centers, all that, very good coordination of that. On the other hand, again, using the same doctrine, perhaps not the best idea. Terror could have, for example, been of help. I think with perhaps some firestorms or a King Tiger. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Lane saying cheers.